Hello, everybody. Um, Tonight we're going to play a new route that I've just bought. So if we just go into trains, go to choose route, and these are all the routes that I've got at the moment. So as you can see in the top left there, I've got Midland Mainline, which is the new route I bought about a day ago or so. Blackpool branches is my all-time favourite route. Cathcart Circle, that's pretty good. It's up there with my favourites. East Coast Main Line, Peterborough to Doncaster. I haven't played it lots, but it's okay. I like driving the high-speed train. I love the Underground. That's one of my favourites. Always want. I've got a thing about. I'm from North Wales, so I don't see the Underground that often. I don't pop to London that much. But I've got something about. There's something about the Underground. I love the history and everything about it. I've got a particular interest in Aldwych Station, Ghost Station, which is closed. I believe you can have private tours there, which are organised through the year. Um, but anyway, yeah, love playing that. One of my top favourites, though, that sits alongside Blackpool branches is the Northern Trans-Pennine route. I mean, they're more or less on a par, to be honest. Southeastern High Speed, yeah, it's okay. Um, I like the high speed train. I haven't played it lots though. Tees Valley is another favourite of mine, so if there was a first place, it's Blackpool, second place, Northern Trans-Pennine, then third would be Tees Valley, um, and then the newest route, West Coast Main Line, London to Milton Keynes. Um, yeah, so and so I guess the Cathcart Circle would come after that. Um, West uh, West Somerset Railway. Um, Wish I never bought it, but glad I bought it in a sale because that is just that is just a torturous drive. I mean, 20 miles an hour is the highest speed limit, and a lot of it is 10 or 5 at most times of the journey, and it's just mind numbing. It's a shame, really, but it is what it is. It's meant to be as realistic too. Yeah, so it's just a bit of a bore. In fact, if you bought Train SimWorld and bought that as your first route, it'd be enough to put you off the whole game, I reckon. Um, the training centre I don't really dabble with much, but I do dip in and out of it when I need to find out a few things about a few locos. But not everything is really included in there. A lot of it is about Googling stuff, looking in forums and watching YouTube videos to really get to grasp of all the locos and branches, really. Anyway, let's not bore ourselves in here for too long. But if you, the running theme here, if you've not already noticed or know from my other videos, I'm a big Blue R Blue fan, so it's obvious that Blackpool branches, Northern Trans-Pennine and the Tees Valley routes are going to be my main go-to anyway. Um, but I do love driving the DMUs and the high-speed trains. They're quite therapeutic to drive. Midland Mainline. I bought this yesterday. Let's go in there because that's what we're going to focus on tonight. I bought this sort of knee-jerk reaction. I was just feeling a bit fed up with myself, and I thought to myself, do you know what? I fancy wandering around a new route, and I suppose the next closest thing, based on recommendations of other routes, and something that comes close to the 80s era is this high-speed train known as the HST and 125. And it's got the 158, which is not really an 80s train. It was introduced in 1989. But, you know, it kind of sits there with that group of that era, really, doesn't it? Class 66, obviously, it's not from the BR Blue days. But the task I've set myself up with today is to play a route, the routes with the high-speed train, the Class 158 and the Class 66. So what I'm going to do is choose a half-hour route for each one, so that's going to take us about an hour and a half in total, but may take a little bit longer depending on any hiccups along the way. Or maybe I might have to abort the whole thing, but I just thought I'd set myself a little challenge, and that's it. And it'd give me an opportunity to sort of talk about what I think about this particular route, because I'm not really entirely sure about it, really, to be honest. I think it's a bit of a letdown compared to my other favourites, but I haven't played it enough to make a true judgment. I've only played a couple of routes from each of these trains, the Class 158 high-speed train and the Class 66. So let's start off with the high-speed train. And what I'm going to do, I saw a route here somewhere that took my fancy. It's in two parts. Let me have a look. Right, this is it here. So Etches Park to Nottingham Part 1. It's only 7 minutes, so I'm assuming that must be bringing the HST from its overnight sidings or whatever, and then taking it into Part 2 there. So I don't know, I could be wrong. What's it say in the description? Drive this empty service from Etches Park Depot to Derby. Yeah, so I was right. Good guess there. Forgot about the description. And the other one is drive this empty service from Derby to Nottingham. So we're going to do that. So let's make a start. But first of all, we need to turn the volume up, the background volume. Okay, right, so let's get started. Oh, it's early in the morning, and I don't really want to drive in the dark, so let's just change. Let's just go back to the main menu and change the time. Forgot about that. Because if we drive in the dark, you're not really going to see much, are you? So if we need to change the time of year. So let's get back into here. Right, let's have a look. Is it up this way? No, that was it, wasn't it? Okay, so let's change it to June. Okay, so it should be light then, shouldn't it? Okay, so let's get the DSD on and the AWAS, or the vigilance. Got anything else we've got to turn on here? I'm not sure. Is there an AWS switch? Anyway, let's put this on the master key, put this into neutral, switch off our AWS, put this into initial, the brake, and I don't know whether is our engine on. I'll just assume that we're on. And the parking brake is off, so we need to get some lights on, don't we? Yeah, what's that there? Desk lights on. What's this? Off. Right, I know we don't need that on. Anything else I need? Yes, the dimmers on the screens, on the dials. And I think that's okay. Let's just have a look if the lights are on. Yeah. Ooh. It's quite an interesting... Yeah, I've got a class 37 over there. Don't know, what's that here? Is that a 47? Two 47s? Yeah. Cool. That's BR Blue coaches here, and that's BR Blue stock, isn't it? Well, it makes me feel more in keeping. It's over there. And that's the 158, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Right. So, we need to get this into forward, don't we? And let's see. We've got to wait for our brakes to get ready. Here we go. When you initially use this loco, this seems to take forever, but then once you've stopped and started a few times, it doesn't seem to take as long. Right, what's our speed limit? It's 5 miles an hour. Don't know if you can open the windows on here, so we can't really get any more noise from outside. It's nice to hear the engine a little bit more in it, but there we go. I think we can. Quite like these little depot hops, or whatever you call them. They are frustratingly slow, but understandably in such places where there's a lot of people walking around. As you can see, there's lots of people walking around, but you know, there's a lot of reasons why it's set at 5, I'm assuming. All down to safety, of course. And I guess, you know, a lot of stuff is operated manually, like these, you know, I forgot what you call them, the points. Yeah, so I was really looking forward to getting into a HST. That was what kind of spurred me on, because it's from the 80s era, and so I was looking forward to driving this. I forgot that I'm on camera and I put my legs up in the air and everything here. Just getting comfy. Oh, speeding already. If I put it in throttle 1, it doesn't seem to do anything. Put it in throttle 2, it just seems to pick up too much speed. Yeah, so the interior is, oh, this GSM thing. I don't know much about this. This is my next learning curve, is to understand what this GSM thing is all about, but can't use it in here anyway. Doesn't work. I don't think it really. It just makes the game more immersive for those who like to play it as realistically as possible, which I'm trying to do myself, but at the same time I want to be able to not place too many learning curves upon myself, because I am quite new, as I keep saying in my videos. Because when I first started, I mean, the AWAS system all seemed a bit too much and too complicated, and I thought, oh, I don't think I'll get the hand of this, but I picked it up quite quickly. It's really simple. The problem is finding out each train seems to have the settings in different places. Which is making me wonder about where the AWAS is on this, because those buttons over here, was one of them AWAS? DSD. That's the vigilance. There's no mention of AWAS, is there? Is that it? Someone is going to have to tell me in the comments. Does that switch it? No. Is this it? I'm sure it works when I'm travelling along. I can't quite remember now. I don't know. Alright, I've got my track markers and things on. I need to go into my settings and change all that. It's because I've been in the training centre. And when you've been in the training centre, you come back and the HUD settings have all... Right, let's change it now, because it's going to do my head in, that is. Right, settings. Now then, what is it under? You would assume it would be under HUD, wouldn't you? Stop marker. Off. Objective marker. Off. I think it might be just those. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's it. Right. So I'm making the task even more difficult for myself. But I've never really liked those things on the lines. It just doesn't look right, and I don't like the hand on the blue stalk in the middle of the track stood there. So I have to rely on my top hood for the for the stopping area. So we've got 180 yards to go. Can't really cock this stop up though, can I? Because I'm only going at 5 miles an hour. I'm recording this on a Sunday evening at 9:30, so I'm a bit tired. So just checking that I'm actually recording. Done that before now. Speed limit's gone up to 10 halfway through the platform. That's weird. Well, that'll do. Oh, hell, it was as simple as that. Okay, so we'll do part two now. I wonder if we can just go straight from free roam. Wait a moment, yeah, in the same part of the day. So we need to, I'm assuming, open our doors at the. Oh no, this service is not passenger related, is it? Right. So where are we going again? We're going from Etches Park to Nottingham Station, which is in 14 miles. Can we see on this map here where the place is? Normally, yep, so we're so the whole map is like that. Right, okay. Sorted! Let's get going then. I was supposed to do that, wasn't I? Check the I think I've just stopped the train. Oh, I've gone through a red light. What am I doing? Oh dear. I was just concentrating too much on the controls. This is going to be a long video, isn't it? Oh, what? We're starting right from the very beginning. Well, we don't have to do that, do we? Because we've done that. So, main menu. Right, so we need to find, that was it, part one. So we just completed part one. So part two we want. I'm going to put it to June though, don't we? Okay. Right, okay. Sorry about that, folks. That reset button I was a bit confused with, because in the tutorial it says about resetting it. We're going to have to set everything up again now, aren't we? Right, normal. vigilance normal. Brake test, so we get that master key on, we get this into neutral, and we'll get this into initial, and we get our we'll get desk lights on anyway. We'll put some I think we go through some tunnels. Sorry about this, I'm on the Xbox controller, and although my sensitivity settings on it, I can't find a setting that makes it easier to anyway. Right, lights. Can't remember where my lights are. Is it these over here? Yeah. Okay, right. So, I've had tea and biscuits with the manager, and yeah, I've had a spad. I'm on my last warning, so we're ready to go. Set the direct. Yeah, okay, that would be a good idea. Oh god. Right, what's the speed limit? 15. Oh, it's just gone down to 10. Didn't see that in the instructions on the right there. So if we actually get to Nottingham station, it'll be in 40 miles time. Well, we'll know if AWS is working once we run over a magnet in the ground, won't we? Once we we've got a 158 coming in now. Lovely. Some BR Blue coaches over there, and we got the Class 37. I think this was one of the much earlier maps that was released. Maps, I call them maps instead of routes. And the reason being, look at that, they're gorgeous, the 37s, aren't they? I love that livery on there as well. It's just look at it. That is just beautiful. Ooh, we had a Class 45 going past there with BR Blue coaches on. I think that must be a rail tour. And we got a few 47s over here. More BR Blue. So this route is obviously doing its best to cheer me up, because I did have some initial disappointments with it. Let's get this thing going. Got a 158 parked up here. now that was the AWS that just went off, didn't it? So it is on. So it's picking up speed quite well. We are going downhill though, and we've got no passengers because, as like most of the HSTs, they are quite sluggish taking off. But just checking. So we've got 100 speed limit coming up soon. We've got 12 miles to go. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this. I mean, exterior wise, I've always loved the shape of, I had it as a Hornby, my Hornby train set when I was a kid. I mean, it was so futuristic compared to all the grumpy looking diesels, the serious looking diesels, you could say. This just had this slick look about it. But it sounds like a bag of nails, doesn't it, really? Inside. I don't know how well you can hear it, because I don't think the full 5.1 surround sound translates through on the audio very well when I've listened back to previous videos. I mean, the sound of the HST has a closely sounds similar to the 66. It doesn't sound like any of its other predecessor diesels anyway. And the horn, well, the horn. Yeah, the AWS is definitely working. The horn sounds a bit, I don't know, it just doesn't sound right for the train. I don't know whether it's authentic or not, but I believe they try to get the authentic sounds whenever they can. Yeah, so the biggest disappointment I have found is on this route, which is what this HST came with. You never get the opportunity to get to 125 miles per hour, which is its top speed, which you obviously want to be able to do. There's just you run out of track, because the route is just too short. So that is the disappointment with it. So you've got to go on I think it's the southeastern line, where they've got a couple of rail tours with this train, where you can get to 125 in it. It takes some time though, it really does. Like the Pendolino, although that is sluggish taking off, I think it gets to 125 miles an hour much more quicker. Are we going to crash here? It looked like the screen was going to crash then. Yeah, the 125, sorry, the Pendolino does seem to get to 125 mile an hour a lot quicker than this does. Right, we've got yellows, so we need to get some brakes on here. I thought I was nearly at our outset then. I thought we were meant to stop at that station. I've gone into emergency mode. Why? Why did we do that then? I must have been going too fast over the magnets. Oh, Lord. Now I can't remember how you... I think you just have to wait a minute. I'm pretty certain you just have to wait. Is the... what's that there? That parking brake off. AWS has forced the penalty brake, reset AWS and wait. Well, how do you reset it then? Normal. Normal. Is it this? Where is the AWAS then? Well, I'm pretty certain that says AWS there, but there's no way of selecting it. Is it this? That's the DRA. Oh, yeah, it's resetting now. I thought it reset itself. But I wasn't going majorly fast. I know that signal's just over there. But I think that's why they apply, because I didn't put them on myself. No, it's not good enough. Obviously, I'm not doing something right. That's it forward. There must be an AWAS button. Well, where is it? I mean, you'd think it would be a big, massive red button somewhere, wouldn't you? Of some sort. Is that it? Is that it there? Doesn't say anything, does it? TPWS, is that it? I would assume it was that red button, but I can't select it. Yeah, we're going now, we're going. That must have been it then. Now, I'm wondering, because we've been sat there like idiots for so long, whether this light will bloody change, because that does happen sometimes. No, it's just changed, so we can get going. We're coming up to a 15 as well, so... I'm assuming we're going down to 15 because of these, we're changing points here. Guessing. To the left. I'm assuming we're going left, are we? Yeah. So you'll find that 15 mile an hour limits are normally around point changes, otherwise you're going to just come flying off the rails. So this here, this dial here, you'll notice that both those needles start raising upwards when I apply the brake. But when you reset the brake, the needles don't immediately return, so the engine is still continuing to, the brakes are continuing to apply the braking force until those needles reach back to zero. So you've kind of like, when you're braking, you've got to try and bear that in mind. You know, you've got to, if you want to drop from 60 to 30, well, you need to start resetting the brakes around 40, so that it brings you, oops, we're going to go over speed here. What a night this is. The excuse is the excuse is that this is a new route for me. It's amazing how much easier it does get once you start to learn the routes, but I'm not really learning the routes very well because I'm route hopping all the time, which a real train driver wouldn't be doing. They'd be driving the same route all the time. Well, most of the time anyway. Looks like that this route's going to be quite slow for us, so you're not going to get to see this beast. Oh, just got run over by another train. Doesn't look as though you're going to get to see oh, the speed limit's just picked up. It's not over there. You might get to see it go at 80 miles an hour. And to be honest with you, you don't really get to see it go much faster than that anyway. The top speed I've managed to get it up to is about 120, and that is only for a brief moment. Yeah, so my other big bugbear about this route is the livery on this train and on the 158. Now obviously it must be authentic, but what I don't like about it is that it looks cartoony to me. I mean, there's not much the developers can really do if that's what the livery is, but I think the class, is that green, that light? It's green. I can go back up. Yeah, if that's what the livery was, then that's what it is. But I just don't like bright colours. Not in a game anyway, it just looks a bit cartoony. Cartoony, if there's such a word. I much prefer the BR blue look, you know, the original. I just need to stop this alarm that's going off. Yeah. What I was saying earlier when I interrupted myself because something was going on while we were rolling along. This looks nice, doesn't it? This bit of industrialness as the AWS goes off. Yeah, interrupted again. I was calling these maps instead of routes, and the reason why I call them maps instead of routes is because traditionally I'm a Call of Duty player, and you call, you know, each of the fighting zones, or whatever you want to call them, you have to, they're called maps. So in this I'm calling the routes maps through force of habit. Right, we've got to stop in 3 miles. Just lower the screen a bit so you can see the dials. So this is our speedometer. We're doing 75. That's showing my revs, or acceleration power, whatever the terminology is. We've got 2 miles to go, 2.5, 2.7. Oh, and we're speeding. One of my favourite Train Sim World YouTubers is, I think it's called Dad's Rail. He's really good to watch and listen to. He hasn't done many streams recently, but when he's playing live you can ask him questions, you know. And one of the questions I asked says, does it matter if he goes slightly over? If you go over the speed limit slightly? And he said, no, it, you know, a couple of miles an hour here or there. Isn't a big deal, you know, but if it was done repeatedly, then it would be questionable. And when I've watched other real train drivers, they are very, very cautious about not breaking the speed limit. Got to drop this down to 25. Drop down to 7:15 shortly. See, if the dials, I've only got to apply them for a very short length of time. So if they take much longer to return, then return to 0. So if you apply too much brake, you end up bringing the train unintentionally to a stop. This is the 15 here. I can't remember if all trains terminate here. Is this like a dead-end station, or does it carry on through? I can't remember. But I've noticed stations that have a 15-mile-an-hour entrance. It looks like it's a through station to me. So without stop markers, I have to rely on the top left there. We got 80 yards. Probably being a little bit cautious here because I don't want to go through another red light, do I? And there we go. So we still managed to get a platinum medal, even though I speeded 3 times according to the performance breakdown. But what peed me off the most was going through that red light. Damn it. Anyway, so there's task 1 completed. So we need to return to timetable. We now want to drive the class 350, don't we? That was challenge 2 for this, but these are for the HSTs. So let's get into the free. Is it the 350? 3158. What am I on about? Right, okay. So we need a half-hour kind of journey. Matlock to Newark Castle. Leicester to just we want a half-hour. Let's do that. It's 29 minutes. Let's do it. Right, so we got daylight anyway. Now then, the AWAS is up here, and DSD there. Come on, you can do it. And up here, we need to set the vigilance, and we need to unlock the passenger doors. We need to get some lights on. Doing that is marker lights off. Marker lights only. Hazard. Night lights off. Night light. Hazard. Day headlight. Marker lights, day headlight. Yeah, let's put that on. Let's just have a look outside. And we need to get our master key in, don't we? Doing all this in the wrong order, really. Driver assist traction lock will not release while the cab or passenger. Yeah, I know that. Put this into initial. Neutral rather. Switch off the AWS. We can lock the doors now. They take forever to close. Well, according to this, they have closed. Just waiting for my signal now. So we signal back to the conductor and release the brake. And oh, I forgot to put it into forward. I always forget that. See, when I just play me on, I just put it straight into forward anyway. I'm just trying to be. Oh, the DRB. Let's just get that back. DRA rather. Reset that. Right, I think we can go now. So 25 miles an hour is the speed limit for the moment. And man. First stop is in 7 miles. This is quite nice to drive. It's more fun to drive than the... Oh, damn it. Why do I keep going over speed? It's, although it looks a little bit unappealing and boxy and claustrophobic, I mean, a lot of these, you know, DMUs are a very claustrophobic kind of feeling to them. And this doesn't look like it's anything to do with driving a train compared to the diesels, you know. Right, we're going to pick up some speed. You've got kind of restricted view, you know. Like before, we could see these 47s, couldn't we, parked up. Because you've literally got the whole windscreen. I think the reason for it is so that passengers can walk through if this was connected to another train in front. Right, so what are my first commitments? So you'd have this door shut and the passengers would be able to walk right through this corridor into the next train. Because I think there's another door over there to close that section off. I could be wrong though. But that's kind of the basic thing. The basic idea behind it. Because if we have a look from the front, you'll see the door, the connecting door. So that door would be opened, and you know, connect to make it a four carriage train. A lot of the time I tend to zoom in on through the window so I've got a better view of signals. But now that I'm not using the main HUD in the bottom right hand corner, I need to rely on these dials more often. Five miles to go. So is this worth buying? If you got the spare cash, yeah. If you're on a tight budget, perhaps wait for a sale, see if it pops up in that. But you're not missing much if you're trying to grow your BR Blue collection. So that bleeping then is this vigilance pad, so I have to press it with my foot so they know I haven't had a heart attack. So I've learned. Just gone over the yellow magnet and it just gives a ding, ding, which means the signal is green. But if it makes the other noise more of an alarm noise anyway, a more serious alarm noise. What's the top speed on this train? Maximum 90. So really we shouldn't be going faster than 90. But the speed limit is 110. I don't think it's a big issue going. It won't go any faster anyway. It's on its limit. I think the only reason why it was going a little bit faster, it was going downhill. Perhaps it's limited. Right, so we're stopping in 2 miles. I think if I remember with this train, don't really need to start braking until somewhere in the 1 mile an hour, a mile and a half to a mile. Whereas with that HST, the other train we're just driving, oh, that looks like we were nearly going to crash then. Just get some brake on. I've gone into automatic brake 2. Brakes are pretty good on this, and when you take the brake off, it's more or less instant as well. So we've got yellow, double yellow, so let's take it down. Got it down to full service. I don't think we need to have it down to full service. Applying throttle then. Right, I normally come into stations, hit the platform at 26 and then get it down to 15 halfway through the platform. Oh my god, we're not going to stop. That wasn't good. I didn't realise how short the station was. How far are we hanging off? That's pretty bad. It's terrible. I thought I opened the doors. Won't it let me open the doors? I opened the wrong doors or something. Oh no, they're opening. We better shut these ones, hadn't we? Yeah, you see, we've not been familiar with the route. I mean, it's quite a long station anyway. There's no excuse for that. No excuse. Damn it. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to vape over that. How many more stations have we got? 1. Shit, what have I just done? Right, so I've got 3 stations to redeem myself. Lock the doors. Now, as you can see, the doors take forever to close. Right, I can press this green button and tell the conductor that I'm still here. Now I just need to take the brake off, and that's reset. We can go. I think you meant to start off in throttle free and just start edging it in. There we go. We've got a red light coming up. According to the as a trained driver, I would know about this red light. So that's why that top right hand hub, it's gone green, so we can go. That HUD in the top right hand corner is a must. Because obviously I don't know the routes and know where all the signals are. If you watch, there's a guy, I can't remember his name now. He does streams of him driving the tube, you know, which is similar to driving a train anyway. And he knows every single nut and bolt in the track, literally. So we've just dropped down to 15 to go over the points again. And so he knows where all these speed limit signs are, because you know you need to be under speed. Before you get to them, obviously, which means slowing down pretty much in advance, up to a mile in some cases, depending on how fast you're going. The engines on this train remind me when I was a little kid. It must have been 158s that we were travelling on when I was a little kid. So we've got 2 miles. Changing points here by the looks of it, but it's not asked me to drop to 15. No. So some points are obviously robust enough to take you over them at 30 miles an hour. I guess it's just the way they're laid out. I suppose if they've got more curvature to them, then you've got to be going over them at 15 miles an hour. What am I waffling on about? Is any of this making any sense? Hopefully the entertainment anyway, because you've seen the warts and all tonight. Right, we can go up to 80, but the thing is, stopping in a mile and a half. But we want to try and get there on time, don't we? So let's just give it a little bit of beef. more, couldn't I, really? Because it's quite easy to stop this train. I suppose that's a good plus thing about this. If you were starting off, I mean, DMUs are really easy to drive anyway. In most cases, apart from the Class 101, I just did a video on the Class 101. That's the most difficult train overall to drive. But a lot of these modern DMUs, you've just got, this would be a combined throttle and brake, whereas this one is quite old, so it's a brake and a throttle which are operated separately, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but not as complicated as the diesels. Now if you see this yellow magnet, that will make it should make an alarm noise now, that ding dong, because it's saying this light's on green, so it's an additional reminder. Right, let's not overhang this station. It looks like a short station, so I think I need to start dropping. We're gonna do it again, aren't we? We'll do it. Now that is acceptable, but let me just open the doors. See if the door's opening. Why open the doors? Yeah, see how long they take. I should have. Let's have a look. We should have been more central to the station in parking to save the passengers having to walk all the way down there. Not quite sure where the passengers come in here though. They come in here. So, you know, they've had to walk all the way down there now. So really the train should have been parked much further down the platform. Right. We can close the doors. Let's try and do better on the next stop, shall we? You know, considering this is an easy train to stop, this is pretty dismal. But at least we didn't overhang that time, eh? We've got to drive the Class 66 yet as well. Oh my god. I don't like driving that train. It's just so horrible. It's just got no character compared to the, you know, the old diesels. How many more stations have we got? 1, 2. So I've just applied some brake. It's not going down very slowly though, is it? But it's not going down very quickly, I mean. Just took the brake off. Coming in a bit too cautiously here. See, there's the yellow magnet. So it goes bing. But if that light was on yellow or red, it would make a more aggressive noise. Right, so I've put brake 1 on, taking it back off, put some more on. Get it down a little bit more. To say, I'd like to hit the station at 25. And then take it down to 17. Taking it down a little bit more, brake 2. That is apparently the proper stop there. We've stopped according to the top left hood in the correct position. You do have, depending on how many carriages you have, you do have numbers on the platform. I think that's just the platform number. But they're usually on little posts, and so you would stop next to the post here. I think those must be on more modern lines, but they're not on here anyway. But as you can see, you can lock the doors now. We are much better positioned on the platform. We're central to this canopy for people to get on. Right, we're ready to go. So I need to press my little green button. And I need to press my vigilance pad. So now we can take off the brake and get some throttle into throttle free. And gradually introducing more throttle. So I think the next station is our last station for this event. How long have we been recording for now? 1 hour 19. I don't think anybody's gonna watch the whole of this video, are they? Oh dear. What have we got coming towards us? Another 158, I think. Yep. So that was the vigilance again. That beep that time. So if I was to pass out and that went off, obviously I wouldn't be able to press it because I would have passed out. So the train would come to a stop. Same with the AWS button. And you know what? I don't even know where the AWS button is because I use my pad. What's that there? Is that a camera in that? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So that's the reset button there, so I'd press that. have a look outside, huh? So that was my... I don't know what that beacon was for then. I don't know if it was AWS or the vigilance pad or whatever. Going to be an AWS really, because we're all on green. We need to get this down. I wasn't paying attention. Might just slightly go over speed here. Yeah, we are. We need to drop again. See, as soon as you take the camera outside of the train, all shit lets loose. Yeah, the brakes are really good on this. Very responsive. You don't have to sort of gauge them. Right, you're doing the diesels. Right, I'm not quite sure where we're stopping on here, but it's in 130 yards. It's coming in. It's on our left there. Right, rather. There we go, that is perfect. Thank God I got the last stop perfect. So let's let the passengers out. Now my last journey, no passengers got on or off. Because I don't... See, that guy was walking away from the train then. And he must have found out that it was me that was driving. But we still got a platinum medal. Despite... I mean, you know, I think the scoring thing on here is a bit... It's not set right, is it? You know, I mean, I don't deserve a platinum for overshooting a platform, do I? You know, and speeding a couple of times. Anyway, right, so we need to return to the timetable. Our last challenge for this video is the class 66, and we're going to get in this dirty, scruffy looking one. And we need something that's about half an hour-ish. 20 minutes, that's got aggregates, so that sounds good, doesn't it? Let's go with that. Let's get started, right? I always feel under pressure to let's go over here and fuse box. Right, so that's the AWS there. That's on now. I think that's the only thing we have to change in here. So let's get that cabinet closed. Bum, bum, bum. I think that's it. Something tells me it isn't though. Is there anything else in here that's got to be set? No. Just want to double check in here. Everything else looks switched on, doesn't it? What's that? What's that? What's that? DSD, that needs to be on. What's this? That's normal. I thought there was something else in there. I think that's everything now. Right, okay. Let's get in here. So, what else do we need to set? Cab lights, we don't need. Desk light, yeah, we'll have a bit of that on. Instrument lights on. Yeah, tail, no. What's this? Headlight marker lights. Day running. Yeah, do a day running. I think day running is probably about it. And it thermistor brake test. Do. Right, so we need to get the reverser handle out. To switch off the AWS. It's in neutral. That's the throttle. Does this work on here then? Where's the switch to switch this on? Anyway, I don't know how to use this. What's the point of switching it on? Right, so what's that there? You know, it's been a while since I've driven this, just a day or two ago, but it was only briefly. Just trying to check that I've got everything on that needs to be on. Let's just have a look outside. Yeah. So what are we pulling? Ooh, yeah, look at that. It's quite a nice long rake. Looks like they're full as well, are they? Ooh, so we've got quite a big heavy load. Big heavy load. And it's quite long. Scenery's quite nice around here. Ish. That looks a bit unfinished. Right, anyway. So here's my dials. We need to get that to 5. We need to get those needles down to 0. And then we're ready to go. And should we have a bit of... I've got my keyboard here. So I can do... I've got a keyboard plugged into my... I've got a keyboard plugged into my Xbox. And if I go... That sounds like a strained moment on the toilet to me. Doesn't sound like a horn should do. Right, driver assist. Insert the reverser handle and set the direction of track. Right, we haven't got the reverser in forward. Right. I always forget that because I always slam it straight into forward. But I'm trying to be clever by doing it the proper way. Now this dial here, I've got to make sure I don't take that needle into the red. I don't know if my... on this hood, I'm not sure how you're supposed to know if your brakes are slipping, if your wheels are slipping. doesn't feel like it's slipping anyway. Anyway, so this is going to be a much slower ride for us. Bit of glitching there. I'm playing on an Xbox Series X, so you can't get any better console than that at the present time. So the game runs pretty good, pretty well on here. But any of the older generation Xboxes, like the Xbox One, or lower spec than that, you could come into some performance issues, I believe. But the developers have compensated for that by including less AI traffic on the track. Putting some more throttle on now. So it's got it on maximum throttle. We're just in the green there. Surprised how well we're picking up speed, really. We're going downhill, so we got the help of going downhill. See, this, I'm not too fussed on the but this one, with it being all dirtied up, it looks real, you know. I mean, you've got to look twice at it to see that it's not real, that it's just a simulated train. I believe they're called sheds, their nickname, because they look like sheds, and if you ask me, they sound like a shed would sound if you were dragging it along the road. Got the 158 there. I don't know. Do you know what? I'm halfway through the stream and I'm wondering, did I call it a 350 earlier on after playing the West Coast Mainline? Sometimes I can get a bit confused with the DMUs, but that is the 158. So apologies if I've been screwing up the names of the trains. So we're not stopping in a mile, but we're diverting, so could expect to be changing over. Let's have a look outside. Look at that lovely. Look at that lovely. I can't get off the bridge though. I wanted to have a wider look then. Sorry about that, folks. Like that light. That's kind of therapeutic, isn't it? Ooh, it's very haunting. Very apt for the Halloween season. These water coolers look awesome, don't they? Cooling towers, I should say. It's quite funny, in the Transpennine route, they just pop up in front of you, and obviously it looks a little bit naff. But that aside, I do love that route. But it's just that buildings just pop up in front of you. Struggling with this camera tonight. all these alarms go off while I'm... oh, that's nice. It's a nice shot. Take up speed now. We're going uphill as well, so she's really having a good pull. Sounded a bit naughty, that, didn't it? X-rated trains. There's me in there with my high-vis jacket on. I've got hair though. Got a ponytail. I like my ponytail. All these alarms, God! You haven't got a chance of having a kip, have you? These alarms going off every so often. I mean, during the 80s there was a lot of train crashes. I think because the network is just becoming much more complicated. System was kind of at overload, and a lot of reinvestment was needed, and unfortunately the consequences of those train crashes implemented a lot of new safety systems, such as this AWAS. I can't remember what tragedy fast forwarded the introduction of the AWS. It was a London one. I don't know if it was a Harrow and Wealdstone, I can't remember. But you know, there's that many safety systems now, you would assume nothing could go wrong, but we've only just recently had a slow speed collision. Got something coming up on the right here. HST. That's lovely. And we're here in our little slow lane. I'm on full throttle, but we're in the in the green. Sorry, I don't know what I was doing then. I'm just sort of going through everything here. I was I can't get out of this. What am I doing? Get me back in the cab. I can't get back in the cab, folks. Right, I'm back in the cab. My God. I'm having a heart attack then. I need to go to the toilet as well. What do the train drivers do when they need to go to the toilet? That was a nightmare. Now I don't even know what I was talking about with all that panicking over being locked into various camera modes. Another HST, we're on green here. Our next speed limit is 50 miles an hour in 2 miles. To bear that in mind. We're just reaching 60, so we can come off the accelerator now. My dog is distressing me. Oh, whatever. So we dropped to 50 in 1 mile. I'm just going to end up crashing the train if I tell him to get down. Will you stop it now, Wells, please? His name's Wilson, anyway. Now, when you're taking the brake, apparently take it down to 40 on this dial here. I think that was the tip I picked up. Now I've recharging the brakes there, so that one's gone back down to 0, so the brakes are fully off now. And we're under 50. Well, whilst my dog is here anyway, my little job is doing greeting cards, but they're on dogs. They're greeting cards relating just to dogs, and they're available on eBay. So I'm doing a bit of an advert here, aren't I? So, but they're fun greeting cards. I've got Jack Russell's driving motorbikes and, you know, wearing woolly hats and things in the snow, Christmas theme. Yeah, all kinds of different designs, really. So you can just see my acceleration. We'll pick up speed in a moment anyway. So I'm in throttle number 8. Hear the engine rattling away behind me. So what else is on this schedule? So this is our stop. We actually stop at Silby, is it? So this is the longest I've been on this route, you know, driving 3 of the, I think it only comes with the 158 and the HST, but if you've already got the class 66, it might come with it. I'm not 100% sure. You'll have to check the details on the shop, but I mean the class 66 comes with many of the modern routes anyway. So it's got its own freight timetable built into the route. So what's your favourite, passenger trains or freight? And what era do you like the most? And why? Please don't be scared to comment. Oh, talking of comments, just here. Talking of comments, I'm going to give a big shout out to Sheila. Hello, Sheila, who has faithfully been watching my videos. Bless her. I'm going to have to tell her I've made another one now. That's an hour, over an hour and a half long. I mean, what's the time to say here? We're 1 hour 45 into this video now. She's going to have to watch almost 2 hours of me rabbiting on. Do you know what? I'm quite enjoying driving this Class 66 tonight. Maybe because it's all dirty, I don't know. But I love all this stock, this freight, these wagons. Love it. And they're full. Oh! Notice how every time I come out of the car, but some alarm goes off. Quite therapeutic, actually. It's like having a head massage. Right, so we stop in 1.5 miles, so take this down to 40. Just take a little bit of speed off because I can't remember the capabilities of how well this train stops. I've said in other videos, you know, there's a lot of variables involved, you know, different locos respond differently with their different braking systems. And then, you know, weather is a big factor, and then one of the big major factors is the, I mean, because we're going uphill at the moment. Just applying some more brake. Get this under 30. Are we going into any sidings, or are we just stopping in the middle of the track? Because I don't see anything ahead of us. And we have to stop very shortly. We better bring this down to at least 20 miles an hour. Because we have to stop in 300 yards. We're actually stopping at the station now. You know, there was no hint of a station. It's not much of a station, is it? very basic. This must be a new station. Oh, I need to see my thing. Perfect. That was where we were meant to stop. And we got a platinum. We didn't speed then. I mean, we deserved a platinum that time, I think. We did quite well. And considering it was the last journey and I'm feeling really tired now, that journey went the best, didn't it, really? I think, yeah. So, anyway, make of it what you will. I hope you enjoyed watching um, my unedited live event of um, of this route. Let's just have a quick look at what this route is called. I've forgotten the name of it. Midland Mainline. Yeah. So jury's still out. It's okay. I like driving the 158 HST. I think if it was on a better route, you know, with an opportunity to really thrash the thing, which you can do in I think it's in the East Coast Main Line. Let's just have a look. Yeah, it's in there. You've got some rail tour routes free, you know, so you can open it up there, but it wasn't really meant to be in that route, really, if you know what I mean. So it's okay. It's worth buying if you want to buy something to add to your BR Blue collection. There are other routes that offer some BR Blue stuff, but I'll be bankrupt if I buy them all now. But I wouldn't be surprised if I do end up buying them. But there's a new one coming out soon, which is called the Preston to Carlisle route on the 21st of November, and I can't wait for that to come out. So I'm going to be playing that lots. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, if you want to. You don't have to, but it might help me. You can always unsubscribe later, can't you? Whatever. Anyway, thanks very much. Take care, and hopefully I will see you soon.